They walked in with fake guns. They walked out through the sewers. And left behind roses and a note. In love and in heists. Everything is allowed. Vicente Lopez. Buenos Aires. Upper-class suburb. Quiet. Safe. Banco Rio branch sits clean behind bulletproof glass. Routine guards. Polite clients. Friday, January 13, 2006. Sunny. Boring. Until it wasn't. Behind closed doors, the man calling himself Fernando Araujo isn't living a criminal life, not yet. He's an artist. A sculptor. But he's also restless. Brilliant. Quietly obsessed with strategy and control. He paints during the day. At night, he studies tunnels. Bank blueprints. Water systems. He's never robbed a bank before. But he's about to plan one like a movie. He doesn't want money. He wants history. Enter. Sebastián García Bolster. Nickname. El Ingeniero. A mechanic. Perfectionist. He once built a working submarine in his garage. He knows how to disappear into systems, wire electricity, build machines. Fernando recruits him with one question. Want to do something no one's ever done? Soon, others join. A real estate agent. A martial arts instructor. A fake gun collector. Ordinary men. But together, they're building something surgical. No one argues. No one doubts. They have months. And a dream. Rob the safest bank in Argentina. With 0 casualties. And disappear without a trace. They spend their Sundays underground. Measuring manholes. Mapping sewer lines. Eating empanadas on crates. Practicing how to vanish. They call it the work. They treat it like art. By January, everything is ready. A fake weapon stash. Police uniforms. Radios. Voice scripts. They know the hostages' schedules. They know when the police change shifts. They even know how long it'll take for the SWAT team to arrive. Fernando lights a cigarette. It's January 12th, the night before. He smiles. Tomorrow is showtime. It didn't begin as a robbery. It began as a thesis. A thought experiment. What's the perfect crime? Fernando Araujo didn't want fast cash. He wanted elegance. No blood. No chaos. Just mastery. His blueprint? A theatrical illusion. A heist in 2 acts. Act 1. The obvious. Burst in. Take hostages. Create a loud, visible mess. Let the media arrive. Let the police surround the building. Make everyone believe it's a classic robbery gone wrong. Act 2. The invisible. While the world watches the drama upstairs, they vanish underground, with $20 million. To pull this off, Fernando needed time. Months. So he moved like an architect. Step 1. The tunnel. Sebastián, El Ingeniero, became the key. For weeks, he lived under the city, cutting silently through sewer walls. 14 feet underground. Just behind the bank's vault. No one noticed. They bought pumps to drain the floodwaters. They built custom carts to transport the loot. Even rigged power and light below. Tunnel length, 25 meters. Exit, a storm drain near a river, half a mile away. Their car, parked in a garage above. Escape route, timed down to the second. Step 2. The distraction. They studied hostage psychology. What makes people panic? What calms them down? They rehearsed with actors, practicing tone of voice. Guns? Fake. Painted plastic. But convincing enough under pressure. They practiced saying, "We're not here to hurt anyone." And meaning it. Step 3. The exit. Fernando didn't trust coincidence. He split the group into clean roles. The actor posed as the lead negotiator. The ghost controlled the tunnel escape. The voice spoke to police on the radio. The artist kept the narrative clean, calm, controlled. They picked January 13th for a reason. Bad luck. Perfect misdirection. Each member knew their line. Each movement was scripted. They called it the Operación Hollywood. But nothing was for show. Final detail? The letter. Typed. Sealed. Romantic. Left behind in the vault like a signature. We didn't need the money. In love and in heists. Everything is allowed. Tomorrow, Buenos Aires would remember their names, even if no one knew who they were. Friday, January 13, 2006. 12:38 p.m. Two black vehicles pull up to the Banco Rio branch in Vicente Lopez. 5 men step out. Come. Unmasked. Dressed like civilians. They walk through the doors with briefcases. A customer holds the door. Smiles. Then, one pulls a replica rifle. Another shouts. This is a hold-up. Everyone on the ground. The staff freeze. Clients drop their bags. Screams echo. Phones hit the floor. But the robbers? They're composed. Polite. No shots. No punches. Just pressure. They corral 23 hostages. Move them into the back. One man stands at the entrance. Watching. Another walks the vault perimeter. Calm as a surgeon. Outside, a silent alarm has already triggered. At 12:41 p.m., the first police car arrives. Minutes later, tactical units. Sharpshooters. They surround the block. Assume this is another high-risk standoff. Inside, the crew sets the scene. They use walkie-talkies to negotiate. They stall. Ask for pizza. Tell the police they want a helicopter. A van. Classic moves from a dated playbook. The media flocks. Helicopters hover. On the street. Chaos. But underground? Sebastian is already inside the vault. The tunnel opened perfectly. No collapse. No water. Just silence and stacks of safety deposit boxes. He and another man go to work. Boxes. 145 in total. They only touch 132. Only the ones worth opening. Jewelry. Watches. Dollars. Pesos. Gold bars. Confidential papers. Drug money. Dirty money. Clean money. All the same gone. They load bags, one by one, into custom carts. Send them through the tunnel. The job is mechanical. Cold. Precise. Above ground, one of the robbers delivers sandwiches to the hostages. He jokes. We're not here to hurt you. It's just business. At 3 p.m., police here. We're still thinking. Don't rush us. That's the last voice transmission. And then, silence. At 7 p.m., after hours of no response, the SWAT team storms the bank. They find the vault open. No robbers. No weapons. Just terrified hostages. And a note. Typed. Folded. Placed gently near a rose. In love and in heists. Everything is allowed. We didn't need the money. The police stare. Then one officer says, they're gone. By the time SWAT secured the building, the crew was already gone. Bags loaded, tunnel sealed behind them. Vanishing into the sewers like ghosts. No alarms. No footprints. No security footage. Just $20 million gone. And a city in disbelief. The next morning, headlines screamed. The heist of the century. Police set up roadblocks. Canal covers were opened. Divers searched drains. But there was nothing to find. Everything had gone according to plan. Until one thing didn't. Love. A month after the heist, a woman named Alicia D. Tulio walked into a police station. She wasn't crying. She wasn't nervous. She was furious. She'd been dating one of the crew. Mario Vitet Lanes. The man who played negotiator. Smooth talker. Sunglasses. He told police, I'm the guy who talked to you for 7 hours. But Alicia didn't care about the heist. She was angry because he left her. Cheated on her. Vanished with someone else. And her pride. So she talked. She gave them names. Timelines. Voices she remembered from the bank. It cracked everything open. One by one, the crew's safe houses were found. In garages, storage units, quiet homes. Evidence waited. A list of the deposit boxes. Tunnel sketches. Even fake weapons. Perfectly painted plastic. The police were stunned. Not by the robbery. But by the discipline. These men hadn't spent the money. Not yet. They were hiding, waiting for the noise to die. But now, the walls were closing in. Fernando Araujo, the mastermind, was the last to be caught. And when they found him, he was painting. Come. Dry hands. No sign of fear. He looked at the officers and said, "I was never in it for the money." The arrests didn't come with chases. There were no shootouts, no resistance. Only surprise. Because none of the suspects looked like criminals. Sebastián García Bolster, the tunnel genius, gave himself up quietly. He spoke like an engineer, not a thief. Described the angles, the pumps, the support beams, like it was a construction project. Vitet Cell Lanes, the negotiator, was harder to pin down. A Uruguayan citizen, he had crossed the border. But eventually they caught him too. Wearing designer clothes. Grinning like a magician revealing his last trick. He confessed. But only to the performance. "I played a role. You wanted a villain, I gave you one." The press couldn't get enough. They weren't just thieves. They were characters. And the heist? A national obsession. TV specials aired. Books were pitched. A movie deal started taking shape. Before sentencing had even begun. But the justice system wasn't romantic. Each man was charged with robbery. Illegal possession of arms, even if fake. Hostage-taking. And conspiracy. Most received long sentences. But none over 15 years. Here's the catch. The money was never fully recovered. Of the estimated $20 million, less than $1 million was found. The rest? Gone. Hidden. Laundered. Buried maybe. No one ever said. Fernando Araujo refused to explain. He called it his life's work. Said he studied military strategy, chess, and Houdini. He served time. Then walked free. Years later, in an interview he said, "I created a robbery like a painter creates a canvas. And when it was finished, I let it go." By 2013, most of the crew had walked free. No man served more than a decade. No hostages were harmed. No real weapons were used. And most of the money? Still missing. Vitet Cell Lanes, the silver-tongued negotiator, was deported to Uruguay. He now sells jewelry. Calls himself a former gentleman thief. Gives interviews. Wears suits. Smiles for the camera. Sebastián García Bolster, the tunnel builder, disappeared into silence. No press. No headlines. Just blueprints and shadows. Fernando Araujo, the artist who designed it all, became a kind of legend. He sold the movie rights. Released a documentary. Spoke at conferences about strategy and aesthetics. Still insists. It wasn't about the money. But the streets remember something else. 20 million vanished. Over 140 deposit boxes looted. Some filled with dirty cash, others with family treasures. One widow said, "They didn't steal from the rich. They stole from trust." And yet, no violence. No fingerprints. No greed. Only precision. Only story. The Banco Rio heist became more than a crime. It became a blueprint. A myth. A reminder that the perfect crime isn't just about escaping. It's about making the world believe you were never really there. And in the end, they left with more than money. They left with a sentence no one could erase. In love and in heists, everything is allowed.